What's up, y'all? Back in the 9 to 5 life after almost 2 years of being self-employed, being an entrepreneur, and running my video production company. I find myself back in the 9 to 5 grind, and just want to take some time to reflect on some of the things that I learned from that experience, and if I had to do it again, what would I do differently? So when I first left my job, everything was good. Like I was definitely, I hit the ground running. Everything was going smoothly, and I was getting a lot of clients back to back to back. I had a lot of opportunities that came my way, and it was great. Life was good, and money was coming in pretty consistently. But eventually things slowed up, and one of the things I learned is that a lot of my network was so tied to my 9 to 5 job, my previous job, and that's where most of my clientele was coming from, because it was majority word of mouth clients. And word of mouth is great when it's going good, but it's awful when it's not going well, right? So I had a nice little situation set up with my previous job where, of course, I was getting my regular check, bi-weekly check, but they were also giving me, referring me to the clients that they couldn't take on, that they didn't have capacity for. So, I'm getting my regular check, and then I would get a client that they would give me, and those budgets would range from like anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000. I think the largest contract I got was $20,000. So, but most of them were around like $2,000, $2,500, $5,000, $7,000, in that ballpark, right? So it's like you working a regular job, and then you're getting these bonuses every so often. So it was a nice little situation that I had going. It was pretty much a well-oiled machine, and I had my personal account that was separate from the business account, and all of the transactions were happening in those appropriate accounts, and everything was good. And I had a bump in the road where leadership changed, and everything was going well until I disagreed with some of the leadership's philosophy, right? And it was one of those situations where like everything was good if I agreed with this person, but the very moment I didn't agree and share how I really felt, I became an enemy, right? And so it's kind of like I got canceled within my job. I wasn't made privy to certain information that was what allowed me to do my job effectively, and it was kind of like I was being just canceled. I was being alienated within the workplace, and it was times where I would show up to meetings and I couldn't really manage my staff members because I didn't have certain information, and I would have to be informed by other people. And it's kind of embarrassing how I'm supposed to be in a place of leadership, but I don't have the correct information or the necessary information to lead these people. Long story short, ended up leaving after like 10 months of trying to wait this thing out and see if leadership was going to, if there was going to be a change in leadership somehow. That didn't happen. So I had to make a decision and say, you know what, business is going pretty well. Let me take a chance on myself. Let me bet on myself and go into business full time for myself. And like I said, everything was going well until I hit that block on the road where I realized that my word of mouth, the word of mouth well just ran dry. And at the time I left my job, I think I had about $10,000 saved up. So I had a nice, pretty good cushion, and I had about like $20,000 to $25,000 in business credit at the time. So I had a really, good cushion in terms of cash, to at least give me a head start in building capital. And then I had, that business credit there just in case things went left. And boy, did they go left. It came to a point where I started living off of my business credit. And everybody knows that's a recipe for disaster. And just kept accumulating debt and accumulating more debt. And the clients that were coming in, it was so sporadic. It was every once in a while. And bills started piling up. My mortgage started, ended up being late because I'm not able to pay the bills. And if I had to do it all over again, I definitely would have more money saved up. I probably would avoid using any type of credit because, the interest just keeps accruing, and that's just not good. Put me in a really tough spot. And then I also would make sure that I had a actual marketing strategy, something in place to keep getting more clients, right? that's the name of the game when you're in business, is that you got to keep generating leads that hopefully, prayerfully convert into clients. And that's what I didn't have in place. I just had like confidence. I was confident in myself that I could get these clients, and I had like some email campaigns and some newsletters that I would send out. I joined a entrepreneur accelerator program to learn more about business and entrepreneurship, to network with other entrepreneurs, and I would attend networking events here and there. I probably should have did more of that, but I didn't really have an actual strategy in place, a marketing strategy, a lead conversion strategy in place. And if there's anybody out there that's thinking about going into business for yourself, definitely either consult with some type of marketing strategist, or develop a marketing strategy yourself, and pitch that to other people and see what they think. Definitely get some type of advice when it comes to marketing, because that is like 80% of the game when it comes to business. It's like you gotta keep the clients coming in. You gotta have cash flow. In my case, I would get these really big checks. I guess like, I don't know, maybe 1/4, maybe 2 quarters out of the year, I would have a big budget contract, but everything else in between was like very small gigs, just doing videos here and there. And everything was like these one-off things, right? I wasn't able to establish any retainer clients. And retainers is like, that's what you're aiming for, especially in my industry, doing video production. You want those retainers, because the return clients are your best clients. You're cultivating a relationship with this person. They're familiar with you. You're familiar with them. They're familiar with your work, your workflow, your operations, how you conduct business, right? And that's something that I wasn't able to establish, is retainer clients. I think that would have made a world of a difference in terms of my cash flow, and possibly could be still doing my business full time now. So yeah, that's just some advice that I would give anybody who's thinking about going into business full time, no matter what it is, whether it's a product or service business. Definitely develop some type of marketing strategy and test it out before you leave your job, right? In addition to that, I will make sure that the marketing strategy is so solid and it's kind of running on its own, to the point where you have a system. Like, you need systems, right? And those systems have to generate enough cash to pay for all your expenses, right? You essentially have to replace your paycheck with cash flow, with customers and clients. And if the math ain't mathing to the point where you can say, okay, all my expenses are paid at the end of each month, and I have excess money left over, and it's probably not a good idea to leave your job, right? Even if you are overly confident like I am, right? I have extreme confidence, and sometimes I can jump off the ledge because I'm that confident in myself, but I probably jumped the gun in terms of actually consulting other people, and like I said, putting that marketing strategy in place. So yeah, you want to make sure you got a lot of money saved up, have a marketing strategy in place, a well-oiled system, machine that's generating cash flow, and that I think that's a telltale sign that you're probably ready to make that leap or quit that job, right? But yeah, it's been interesting, transitioning back into the workforce, and it's just a totally different mindset from running your own business, right? And I might say that for another video. I might say that that's a totally different topic, and I think I'll say that for another conversation. But I wanted to put this video out there first because I know there's a lot of people that's trying to escape the hamster wheel. A lot of people that's trying to get out of the rat race, myself included. A lot of people want to do what they believe that they were called to do, and when you're tied to the 9-to-5 clock, it can really feel like a lot of your time is being wasted, and your freedom has been stripped from you to explore your creativity and do whatever it is that you want to do with your life. But yeah, I hope this helps somebody out there who's thinking about quitting their job, and definitely tap in for more videos, because I'm going to be sharing more of my experience of being an entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur, in those 2 years. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, And yeah, I look forward to sharing and building a community with this channel. Until next time.